Hey folks, sorry about the absence. I'm not really feeling these videos, to be honest. I feel that I'm just talking out of my ass and everything that I said has already been said and much better, but you know, some people leave some nice comments, so as long as this is meaningful in some way, I guess I'll keep at it. So, I was walking home from work one night and I heard this lady talking to her daughter. She was saying, oh, you know, some people, they deserve it. And I was wondering what the hell they were talking about, and I walked by some homeless guy behind them, and I thought maybe they were talking about him, right? And my initial reaction was, well, that's not really fair to say, because you never know the story, why somebody's homeless. But let's give them the benefit of a doubt here and say that maybe this particular homeless person, maybe they're addicted to drugs, maybe they flush their life down the toilet. Now, do we sympathize with a drug addict, right? Do we feel that they deserve what they get? Well, I mean, what are drugs, right? They're bigger than us. Our willpower pales in comparison to chemicals. If a giant redwood falls on you, do you deserve to get crushed? Because you're small, you're flesh and bone, you're minute compared to this massive tree. Well, in a way, yes, you do deserve to get crushed because you are just flesh and bone. The answer here to the question, what do we deserve, is both everything and nothing. Let's start with everything. You have all these notions of, Sartre's existentialism, which I've talked about before, that everything in our life that happens is our responsibility, right? We make choices on a basis, and from those choices, all the events in our life unfold. So, it is our responsibility whether we are aware of the full consequences of our choices or not, whether other people come in. You have these Buddhist principles that, suffering comes from our delusions about life, different beliefs that we hold about ourselves and the world. You have the Christian idea, we were born into sin. So all these things that our suffering is entirely our own, that we deserve it merely because we are on this planet, right? A planet that is filled with dynamic and violent movement, and we're all victims, we're all perpetrators just because, well, here we are. There is no victims. We're capable of feeling so much, right? We're capable of feeling the suffering that we have. So because of that, we deserve it all, right? In the same way that the tree falls on you, you deserve to get crushed just because you're small. We deserve, well, so many things in this world are bigger than us. So many things in this world are stronger than us. So merely because of our weakness, if you want to look at it that way, right? I would say that weakness is maybe one small part of it. Another part is that just that's what life is. To look at things this way, I believe, can be empowering. The easiest way to look at that would be the sort of maybe the Buddhist principle, right? The delusion of permanence, or just not being present, or expectations that we have. I think when we look at life, when we look at our life as everything being our responsibility, it's a call to action that we should take steps to take parts of our life under our control that we wouldn't have. Some of you may be thinking, well, what about abuse, right? What about sexual assault? Surely no one deserves that. And especially, in our current climate, the way that we are addressing these issues. You go to a therapist and they say, it's not your fault, you don't deserve it. Now, why is that? Does that take away from the empowering notion of everything as, your responsibility? Well, no, it's empowering in a different way. It's for healing. This is where, we can segue into deserving nothing. Because what is it to deserve something, right? Deserving, it's really abstract. It's this notion of, well, is it cause and effect? Not really. It's more, moralistic. You're a good person, you deserve good things. You're a bad person, you deserve bad things. Well, does it matter what you deserve? Because it seems that bad things happen to good people and good things happen to bad people. Some of the worst people probably die happy and fulfilled and surrounded by those they love, and some great people just get shit on a daily basis. I think there's a problem with looking at things moralistically. Maybe I can make another video about that, because I think there's limits to morals and to ethics, and to look at things through that lens, again, it has a purpose, but there's limits to that purpose. And in this sense, what somebody deserves, it doesn't matter what you deserve, right? We deserve nothing. You know, in the case of the homeless man, right? Well, they had their lives, they've, you know, made their decisions, the things happen to them, there they are, to the lady walking by with her daughter, same thing, you know. What separates the two? If she was born into the homeless person situation, would she be there? Would we all be there? So I think in that sense, well, we deserve nothing, because that's a perspective. That's a human perspective, and it's almost an expectation, and you can expect all you want, but what is that going to do? It says nothing about reality. So what's the benefit of looking at things that way? Well, perhaps in a similar way it's empowering, because it gives us a level of acceptance. It lets us take action perhaps in a similar way, in that it keeps us grounded here instead of on this abstract, well, I deserve this, I deserve that. This person deserves this person deserves that. Well, too bad. So what these are extremes, right? We deserve everything, we deserve nothing, and I think it would be a mistake to live in one extreme, to live in another extreme. I think that these are tools that you can use. They say nothing about the truth of the world we live in, right? And some ultimate reality, something more real than what we think. They're just simply frameworks. You pick one, you pick the other, you pick somewhere in the middle. Well, are there things, maybe particular things that we deserve, particular things that we don't deserve? No. Going back to the abuse, there's a use for saying that there are particular things that you don't deserve, or particular things that you do. So there's this gradient in between these two extremes. And the trick is to be able to move back and forth, to understand, right? Again, going back to the existential versus the systemic, to take something on yourself without needing it to be a truth outside yourself, without needing to be something that is more real that other people must adhere to for it to have value. So you choose. Hopefully that gives you something to think about. Talk to you later.